If you're always wondering where do you get started when you're looking at your personal finance, you like to start saving 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 as a monthly investment. You have got 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees to invest lump sum and you don't know what to do and where to start. And you're already confused with so many options given to you by insurance, mutual funds, real estate, scheme this, scheme that, that you don't know where to get started and you don't know how to understand the basics of personal finance. Well, as an investor, somebody would like to tell you how to get started, and an investor awareness program is the right fit for that particular issue in your mind today. Hi, I'm Taressh Bhatia. I'm a financial freedom specialist. By qualification, I'm a certified financial planner, and my firm, Advantage Financial Planners LLP, is registered with SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, as Registered Investment Advisor, RIA. In this capacity, in this qualification, with my 34 years of experience and having hardcore personal finance in the last 2 decades, and having written this book, The Richness Principles, I have been able to put together all these issues and many such issues which a common layman finds difficult to find answers into one place, The Richness Principles. I would request you and urge you to buy this book. The link is given below. However, let me try and summarize some of the points in as an investor, what you should be aware of when you're making or thinking of making investments. So let me get started and take notes of this, and I will try and give you the ebook. If you can wait till the end of the video and watch the full video, I will give you the full information about what I'm talking about. So let's go deep dive and I'll explain the features to you. So investor awareness program is what I've created in this ebook. And my promise is that as our Indian culture, the family comes first. And when we are thinking of saving and investing for our family, we look at various aspects. We start with children's education, their marriage, then our retirement, then our dream home, then look for vacations, there's some money left. And what do we expect from our investment? Simple. We expect safety, tax efficiency, regular income, and ease of liquidity if I want it. But safety comes first. So as Warren Buffett said, never lose money as the rule number one, and never forget the first rule. Well, is it safe to keep your money in the safe? Value of 100 rupees would be less than 4 rupees, in 20 years, 30 years. And look at this graph where 100 rupee in 1979 is worth 4.79 today in 2021-22. So who is eating away your money? Well, inflation is a real monster. Inflation as CPI index simplified, 6.5% is the inflation rate in India as of February 2022 making of this video. And the present rate today in February 22 year is 5%. A simple calculation, real rate of return gives you a minus 1.25% return, which means that a real lifestyle inflation is more than CPI also to be considered. So if you're investing in FDs and you still believe that FDs are the safest and most liquid, well, look at your money invested at inflation. And if you invested 100 rupees for the next 20 years, then FD would get you 265.33, and average inflation would have made it 100 rupees, the value would be 466. So FD, the value of inflation is eating away, and there's a big shortfall which you have to understand as lifestyle. Then I'm not getting into tax brackets also. But let's look at some interest rates in traditional government supported schemes. Most popular among people is PPF. So 92 the rate was 12%. Year 2000 it was 11%. Today it is 7.1%. Isn't there a fall? Post office schemes, MIS, NSC, bank fixed deposits from 13% today at about 5%. So long-term equity returns, if one sees, then Sensex has given an actual value of what? How much has it given? A CAGR of 15.81%, which has grown 407 times, versus gold 10% CAGR year to year, and a fixed deposit would have given you 8%, 8.1%, and just 24 times. Now this is a calculation data as on 29th February 2022 taken from Bloomberg and MAOMC, and this is Sensex fixed deposit and gold, just to compare that how the rates and the returns compare. Now let's look further, that if you the inflation adjusted return. Now I give you the earlier example, 100 rupees was worth just 4 rupees. If you invested 100 rupees in 1979, Sensex would be, the current value would be 1893, gold would be 265, and FT would be 116. Now CAGR 7, 2 and 0.37. This is inflation adjusted, which means that after that I give you the inflation return. So minus that, what actual returns are coming, that is called the real return. So that's the inflation adjusted return. So Sensex would have still given you 7.49% year to year return. And let's try and understand people who say that equities are very risky for investing. But one thing is very clear, long-term horizon is equal to less riskier. How? Now I'll try and show you this. If you open the ebook which I've given here and you go to this second column, 10 years, go to the bottom, the probability of gain in the last 33 years is 32 out of 33 years. Go to the second last column, bottommost in the yellow. Well, that's 28 in 28 years is the probability of gain. Simple, I'm telling you the facts. So successful equity investing involves investing through equity mutual funds, but you try and time the market. No, it doesn't work out. Stay disciplined with SIP and invest with your goals. Let's get into each one of these aspects. So investing with mutual funds, how does it work out? Let's look at simplified returns. Look at this 12 and 15%. Just don't go by the name of the mutual fund. I'm not selling any mutual fund. Do not copy paste the names and start investing just like that. I've just done some analysis and for education information purpose, just chosen some schemes of the mutual fund companies. And if you see this 12 to 15%, now there I'm trying to say is that there is a return chance of 8 to 12%, 28%. There is a chance of getting 12 to 15%, 36%, and more than 15%, 33%. Now this is just the chance of getting. Now what I'm trying to say is, if you go to the second scheme, 8 to 12%, the chance of getting is 18%, 12 to 15%, 29%, and 15 to 20% return possibility is 24%. And so on and so forth. The second table also here I've given those permutations and rolling return analysis. Second, my submission to you is don't try and time the market. When is the best time? Well, it is a calculation done 31st July 2021. Rupee 1 lakh invested from January 2003 would be, if Sensex somebody had invested 15,51,000. If somebody had missed the impact of the days, would not have made such a huge difference if there was 3 day, 5 days, 10 day, 12 day, 14 day. But there is going to be a difference if you look at even the top schemes I've taken and the current valuations, that there is a risk of missing the best days. Is it so? So time in the market is more important than timing the market. That's my conclusion to you. Let's look at PPF returns from 2001. 11%, today in 2021 end 7.1, even in February 22. There's a comparison of PPF and ELSS I've done in some other videos. PPF would have given you somebody who invested 1,50,000 in the year 2007 for 15 years. Valuation on 30th September 21 would have got in PPF 42 lakhs. The best of ELSS 94, average 77. Worst ELSS 67 lakhs. It's a huge difference between the worst of ELSS and the best of PPF would have given you. Stay disciplined and invest systematically. Now stay disciplined during correction means that when there is correction, people stop investing, stop their SIP, and they say that we have got negative returns, which is shown in the red in the center column. But if they continued for 3 years, 5 years, they would have not only recovered their minus returns but got much more. So SIP, take systematic investment plan, investing not in bank which could be recurring deposits but in mutual funds which are SIP. So amount is auto debited let's understand how does it work. So amount is auto debited investments in mutual fund schemes. Units are allotted based on the NAV of that day of the scheme, and investors can redeem, switch out units anytime. Benefits: brings in discipline, rupee cost averaging. You don't wait for low and high market timing. Risk therefore is minimized. Power of compounding happens and can start with a small amount of 500,000 rupees a month, and helps you to achieve any kind of financial goal in the short and the long run depending on your risk profile. Let's understand how does rupee cost averaging, which I just mentioned, works out. Let's say you start investing 1000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and there is a SIP monthly you do. Now in the first month the NAV, let's say, is 20, next month is 17, then is 21, market fluctuations. So this divided by the NAV, amount divided by NAV, you would get this many units. So 10,000 by 20 gives you 500 units, and you have invested, and that amount after lump sum investment would be on the right hand side. So just to show you that total invested in 9 months 90,000, an average pricing of 18.11 comes out, total units purchased 5106, and total value at the end of 9 months is 112,336. So that's the amount which you have invested. If you had invested just a lump sum amount at the beginning of the first month, 90,000 rupees, you would have got just 99,000 rupees. So a small difference when you're thinking, should I invest once in a year or should I do a monthly investment? Now staying invested during corrections, this is just an example, again, nothing against plus or minus any particular scheme. But the whole idea is that the future of SIP returns from 8th January I've taken till 2000, from 2008 for the next 10 years. Now if you start an SIP and market corrects heavily, then what happens in the second, third, fourth, 2 year, 5 year? This is the actual returns which would have come even after the market corrections heavily. So that's the 10-year return. Now you would see in the first year after 2008 January, when the market correction happened, everybody got negative returns and people said no, it's not a good idea to invest SIP in an equity mutual fund. Second year, look at that. Third year, look at the returns, average returns. Go to the last Sensex, so minus 52, and then in 10 years you would have got at least 11 to 12% return. SIP stopped after 5 years versus continued in the pink is when the person stopped after starting in 1st September 2008, stopped in August 13. The CAGR would have been just 7, 5, 6, 7. Actual schemes I've shown you of the total amount invested in the value, and the right hand side is the person who was a patient investor and continued investing would have made a total in returns of average of 13% across these 5 years continued, and more than 5 years if he had continued till July 21. So that's 13 years of continued. This is just an illustration purpose. Please do not go by the name of the mutual fund because I've just taken for the illustration purposes. There is no other meaning for that. The analysis is therefore total schemes 80 were taken. 10 years, the highest return was 27%, lowest 11%, average 18% in 10 years. More than 15% return were 72 schemes out of 80 schemes. More than 12% was 79 schemes out of 80 schemes. More than 10% every scheme gave, which means that the lowest return was even 10%. 15 years and 20 years. Look at 20 years and look at 15%, more than 15% return for 20 years. Every scheme has given in the example as on 30th September 21. It's just an illustration purpose for understanding how SIP returns can happen. Now let's understand how you can invest with your goals. So download this book, understand how a retirement planning can be done. Very simple, age 55, retirement age, life expectancy 75, today's monthly expense 25,000, inflation of 6%, post-retirement assume a return of 8%, monthly expense at the time of retirement will become 1,07,000 from 25,000 at your age 30 today, and the corpus required is 2 crore 16. So this is simplified retirement planning. Now, if you need to do monthly investments to save for the next 25 years, you need to start at, let's say, assume 12% return, then just start at 12,000 rupees. If you can get 15% return, start at 7,000 rupees. Expected return, illustration, so on and so forth, education, marriage. And therefore, the conclusion I would give you is that not investing in equity is riskier. No. Investing for the long term reduces the risk, and therefore investing through mutual funds becomes much more easier to beat inflation, get the kind of goal oriented investments you've done, and not timing the market and taking professional help from a financial planner who can first plan your finances and then make your investments, assist you in making investments, let's say online direct mutual fund options of online investments in mutual funds. So I have done this as a financial planner over the last so many years, and this gives me that confidence what I'm talking about today. And this video was just to make you aware as an investor that what are the basic things you need to understand, how things work. There are a couple of ebooks I've given, and you can download this with a link given below in the description. And do enjoy, do subscribe to my value letters and emails, subscribe to my YouTube channel with the link given below, and stay positive. Stay with me on my social media. The links are given here. And join me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, so that you're always updated on such great ideas which I keep coming every week on my value emails, on my blogs, on my YouTube channel. So stay invested, stay happy, and be always happy investor. Thank you very much.